G'day guys, Michael here. It's been a while since I put a video up and I couldn't resist the Hobbyking sales again. Seems that anytime they come around I always seem to find something there that I need. I'm not going to do a whole unboxing because, well, this one comes pretty simple. It's the Rare Bear. I've basically got this one to replace my Spitfire FunFighter, which has ended up looking a bit second-hand after one too many crashes. I'm going to pull this one out and let's have a look at it. Well, there's all the parts and pieces. There's only 4 bits in the box. Fuselage is already connected to the main wing, or the wing, and you can see the carbon running through the middle. Motor, ESC, elevator servo, the individual servos for the ailerons ready to go already, hooked up on the top. Just, I guess we'll check all of those things. It looks like really only the 2 sections of tail to go on, so I'll heat up the hot glue and get it together. I have noticed that in the packaging, while it's sort of taped into place really well, the end of the wing has been squashed a bit, so I might have to apply a bit of hot water in there just to straighten that out. I think otherwise the other tip is fine. But other than that, it shouldn't take very long at all. Okay, so before I glue the tail on, I've connected up the control rod, and it's already attached at the other end to the servo. I've bound my receiver. I'm using the V8R4, and I've hooked up the same settings as my Spitfire. It's about 3.5mm throw here on the ailerons, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't need any adjustment before I glue it down. It looks alright there. I might have to just wind a couple of turns on the horn just to bring that level. So with the control horns all attached, I'm just going to run one run of glue down either side. Being careful not to get too close to the hinge at the back. One thing I have noticed is these the stickers there, they're terrible, barely holding on. I'm not quite sure, particularly things like this, the wing, still peeling up on the edges. Not sure if maybe a layer of packing tape might be a good idea. And a little glue for the rudder. Yes, a little bit on the tail section here. Let me pull that off. Just notice that the horn has actually moved. So before we glue that in, never to be getting out again. I notice the horn here in the back is actually pulled free. What we might do is just... So what I might do is give that another bit of glue that has pulled free. Ow. Alright, so back for a quick take two. You got a bit bubbly now with the heat from the glue. That should fit together just fine. Alright, everything's connected up. Pretty straightforward. A little bit of a mishap there with the tail, but all sorted now. Horn is glued in hard. Now I've got the receiver right down the back, and that is at the limit there of the connection from the ESC, which has a pocket. It's a neat pocket to hold it in there, which is good. It shouldn't move out of the way. It's pushed in there pretty hard. Motor wires tucked in right up under the front so that they don't get in the way of the battery or the motor. The wires are pretty hard and inflexible, so when you bend them they kind of just stay there. Now I'm running a 1300 milliamp battery 3S 30C. And that's going to be hard up against that middle, the middle firewall here, and I'll have to tuck the wiring in behind it so that it doesn't get caught up. There's a couple of channels on either side to run the wiring, and then they'll hold it all in place up. On the bottom here I might actually run a bit of Velcro, and then also on the bottom of the battery just to be doubly sure. Although when you put the top on, which is a bit tricky with one hand, so it does push down on the battery when you push that down and engage it back, so it doesn't move around anywhere. CG is pretty good with the battery in that spot. Haven't tried it with the 4-cell, but they're basically the same size and weight. 1000 milliamp zippy 4-cell. That's a 35C. So we might have to just keep an eye on the flight time. I am determined to get this up with a 4S. I never got the Spitfire up on 4S. This one will definitely go 4S. Alright guys, a couple of power tests before we finish up. I've got the 3-cell, and we'll run that up to half and then 3/4 and then full. So there's half. Three-quarters, flat out, 160. So I think from memory that's actually a bit higher than the Spitfire. We'll try the 4-cell. Alright, back with the 4-cell test now, and we'll run it up the same, half, 3/4 and then full. There's half. Three-quarters. That was full power, but I think maybe the prop could do with a balance. Let's just try that one more time. Half. Three-quarters. That is pretty loud. Alright guys, getting a bit late here, so we might not do any more of that. Alright guys, weather looks good on the weekend. Hopefully we'll have a maiden for you on Sunday. Thanks for watching guys. Cheers.